Hello, everyone. So, if nobody knows me, who I am Al Carrera, otherwise known as Albert. I run the Empire Wrestling channel, as you can tell. So, I wanted to make an update video for whoever really watches it, because I have 40 subscribers. It's not like I'm some popular YouTuber. I don't make money off of it. I wish I did. But I wanted to make one because the most recent Empire season just ended. We had Empire Strikes Back, which actually was a really big success for me because I think part 1 had over 50 views. Part 2 only had 33. I don't know why it got less and not the same. Maybe it's just because of what it is. Like, I don't know, maybe the title or something like that, but it's clear that it's a CAW league show. So regardless, it got really big success, and I know the 1-year anniversary show itself has 20 something views, 30 views. So I appreciate the content there, and the reason why I'm recording this anyway is just to say what's going to happen, like what's going to happen in season 2, and some of the things that you will be able to see, like, should be showcased. Obviously, I don't have notes. I'm just going off the top of my head. So basically, obviously, the big thing, which was mentioned in the 1-year anniversary shows, is going to be a brand split. Like I said, Empire Atlantic and Empire Pacific. I wanted to do that for a while, just because, brand splits are fun, and because of the way I set up Empire in general. There's so many people that I can't use everyone. Obviously, I have a lot of COWs signed, ones that I own, ones that my friends or other people allowed me to use. Of course, I also use real wrestlers. And of course, at this point, if I didn't use real wrestlers, I think I'd be able to do just one brand. But I do use them, and I like using it. It's fun. That's just how I like to do CAW. Just because of other leagues that I've seen, like WEDF, which was one of the first ones I saw that did both. New WWE as well, that league, if anyone remembers that league, before it was defuncted. So that's why I did the way I did. So now I know not everyone that likes that. More people like just CAW by itself, which just CAWs. But I just didn't think that was doing for my own league. I prefer to use both. And I just try to switch it up and stuff. And obviously you can tell over time how things have gone with Empire. In the beginning, if people were watching, friends of mine watched, things like that, I figured out how to use certain things. Because if anyone doesn't know, I use Share Factory on the PS4 to record and edit them. Well, I record using the PS4, but I use Share Factory to edit it together. And it allows me to do the basic things like, edit out botches, add text promos. I can only render an hour, so I have to, if it's more than an hour, I have to make a separate video. And that's annoying. That's why for a while they were parts, until I was able to have friends like Brendan, who owns GWA, or Joe Omega, who owns OPW, to edit it into one video. And same thing with themes, because they don't record themes, and I don't have the ability to edit them in. I don't have the software. I don't want to buy the software. It's just not something I'm interested in doing, and my friends appreciate they're able to do it. All the friends that have helped me, of course, is Joe Omega, Biff Andreas, TJ Nicholson. If all those people, they really help me out with the editing. All the commentators that's helped me, Brian Hecker, who helped commentate the first part of Empire Strikes Back, Chris Getty, he helped commentate the second part, and Jamko, of course, who helped commentate Adam 1-year anniversary show. So I have a bunch of people that are helping me commentate and edit the videos together. I of course record the matches. Like I said, this video is going to be all over the place a bit, but it's to showcase you. But basically, like I said, there's going to be a brand split. It's going to be championships Empire World title is going to be on Atlantic. The Empire Tag titles, the North American title, which is rebranded from the Empire US title, and the women's title. Those are all going to be in the women's division. They're all going to be on Atlantic. And of course, the champions right now, if you didn't know, Tyson Gore, Empire World Champion Tyson Gore, Empire Tag Team Champions Sun Impact, Ryan Evans, Matthew Stone. North American Champion is Malik Brown, and the Women's Champion is Layla LaCroix. Pacific brand, the Empire Pacific World Champion is Shinsuke Nakamura, because the OPW Action Zone title was rebranded into the world title. And if nobody knows this, I'll tell you now that I along with Biff Andreas and help am going to booking Empire Atlantic. Obviously I'm recording everything, and Joe Omega was the one who's going to be mostly booking Pacific, just to help me out a bit. And of course he has his own show, and Action Zone title kind of is his own thing. He doesn't really he had too many belts anyway, so that's why it was given to me, and now it's being branded into the Pacific World title. So, and the last Action Zone champion was Shinsuke Nakamura, so that's why that's that. The Pure Championship, as I said on the first episode of Empire Pacific, I think, like I said, the 1 year anniversary show, there was 2 Fatal 4-Ways. Jushin Thunder Liger won one, and the other was won by Tommy Walker. And those two are going to go 1-on-1 in the main event of Empire Pacific 1 to become the first ever Pure Champion. The tag titles, that's going to happen soon. Tag team titles for Pacific. There's going to be an announcement on the shows going up, but obviously I'll just say that we're going to have a tag tournament, and it's probably going to take place after Empire No Mercy, which is the first CPV of Season 2. And the Empire Cruiserweight title, currently held by Isaiah Ice. The Cruiserweight division is going to be just on Pacific as well. So just to showcase that. And it was just because of the way it's set up, having 2 women's titles would be so much, and it's not like I'm gonna have 2 separate cruiserweight titles, so it's easier just to have them will be separated on one brand each. It's easier just to have them separated on one brand each, to make it easier for just me in general. And as for the actual brands themselves, who's on each roster, I'll go over that probably in a separate video, or I'm not too sure, because I wanted to kayfabe it, but I don't really care enough to do that, honestly, and I don't have the editing skills, and I just don't want to make the effort to force one of my friends to edit a video together showcasing the brands. So I might just go over it real quick, or say it because I have them set up to see who's on each brand and things like that. So I told you who the champions are on each brand, but the actual rosters themselves, also in terms of the plans for what's going to happen for the show itself. Basically, I'm gonna feel like a soft reset, kind of, not really, but it's gonna just go episode 1 instead of continuing on from the Empire Wrestling episodes, because I just think it'd be confusing, because I would make Atlantic, if I made Atlantic connect to that, then it would be on 23 or 24, and then Pacific would be 1, 2, and I just think that's weird setup. So just it's a soft reset, and then after now it's always gonna continue on for each season, because I'm gonna keep the brand split pretty much the rest of the time, for as long as I do this, for when I can do it, obviously, because when I first started it, I had a lot more free time, and I was still in school, and I had one job, and obviously I was recording it and just uploading. I was just uploading it as it was, with no themes, in parts. It's a lot easier versus having to wait for somebody to commentate and edit the themes in, because when I did Empire Strikes Back, I had finished the actual recording like a month before it, like months before it actually ended up coming out, just because the VW Prestige week I had to wait, and because the continuity, I had to wait for that show to be uploaded before I could start even uploading the main card, because I think I had the pre-show up before. Bro, it was meant to be the last show before Empire Strikes Back, which is why I think I uploaded the pre-show afterwards. But that kind of made it, and then because I had to wait for the whole thing to be edited together, because first part, Joe Omega was recording some of the matches for me to help me out, and obviously he had his own things going on, so I had to wait a while for that part to be edited by him, and then I had to wait for the commentary to be edited together. So that's why it took as long as it did for it to eventually get uploaded. Same thing with the 1 year anniversary show. It was just, I had the pre-show recorded way before and the commentary recorded way before. It was just getting it edited together. Shout out to Hit Kid Worldwide for commentating the pre-show of the 1 year anniversary show. It was a Rumble. I don't know if he's going to do more in the future. I've tried to talk to him about it, but I know the VW people are always busy and they have their own things going on, so hopefully I can be a part of those more. Obviously, my league has had a little bit more popularity, just not recognized by other people rather than before when it was just kind of like there. So I appreciate that being able to have that popularity there now a little bit more than it was. So I know I get sidetracked all the time, but basically it's going to go Empire Atlantic. The way the schedule's going to be is Empire Atlantic 1, then episode of Extraction. It's going to be basically main event kind of show, 3 matches. It will replace Empire Extra, because Extra kind of got crazy where I would just upload a bunch of them, and there's like 50 something episodes, and a lot of the matches didn't even matter. And because I didn't have a set roster, I was just putting out matches for people where I wasn't even using them. So it just did make sense. Like, if I'm going to do that type of show, the matches should at least have some showcase, whether I'm showcasing new talent or showcasing divisions that aren't going to be seen all the time on the regular shows, because I just don't have the space to put the matches on the card. So I think that's why I'm doing that. I'm going to do that. So it's going to be called Extraction. It's going to be 3 matches. So it's going to be Atlantic. The way the uploads are going to be, it's going to be Atlantic, Extraction, Pacific, in that order. If there's anything else, like specials, then it will probably go after that specific Pacific. Like, before the next Atlantic comes out, I would upload whatever special it might be, because there's going to be some special stuff going on eventually. There's going to be some special stuff going on eventually, like I said. So, like I said, everything's going on with that. And like I said, it would be the cycle also, because before when I had it with the cycle, it was 4 episodes of Empire Wrestling, and then the CPV. And just to make it easier on myself, because it's going to be 2 shows, it's going to be 3 episodes each, and then the CPV. So it's going to be 3 episodes of Atlantic, 3 episodes of Extraction, 3 episodes of Pacific, and then CPV. And the first CPV of the season 2 is, is No Mercy. Like I said, I don't have the schedule. I did have a rough schedule for what the shows are gonna be going forward, but like I said, I'll go that when the time comes. Like, I'll try to talk about it probably in a separate video or something. But I know most of the CPVs that we did in season 1, or I did in season 1, are gonna come back. Like, Fallout is gonna come back, Trouble in Tokyo is gonna come back, Conquest, No Escape, they're all gonna come back. Just adding more CPVs that are new, and I think it's gonna be basically, I wanted to have like, you know, the big four, kind of like WWE does. So the big four would be Empire Strikes Back, Conquest, Trouble in Tokyo, and there's gonna be one more, which is probably gonna be a Survivor Series type of show. And I probably will do some type of like one, like a brand specific CPV for each show I might do, and at the same time I might also do a women's special, at least, because with the women only being on one show, it's gonna be hard to always showcase all of them, even if I use them on extraction, because there'll just be matches for the sake of matches because I need to. So I might do a women's CPV at some point just to showcase all the talent in the division and create some more stories and more things down the line. Like I said, this recording's all over the place, but I think I'm getting my point across of what I'm trying to say. And like I said, over time I just appreciate being able to do this and having fun with it, because sometimes it's not always fun. Like, everyone has their own mental health issues. Like I said, I'm not exactly the most healthiest person at the moment in terms of weight and things like that. I'm not like super fat, but health wise, you know, that's a part of it. My relationship, you know, with my girlfriend, 2 jobs which I work one on the weekend and one during the week, and you know, it's a retail job, it's the weekend, and then it's a dentist assistant job on the weekday, which I didn't go to school for, so it's more of learning on the job, and you know, it's just trying to be an adult. And obviously this is about Empire, but I'm just giving you guys a little insight into, you know, maybe why things take long as they do, because this is just a hobby, and I do like doing other things, like playing other games and things like that. So in terms of that, just like look out for the new season to start soon. I also record new Gnaw, like I record the actual gameplay, because if to talk about that, so if no one knew, I record for new Gnaw, and because Danny Jackpot, if you know him, he had things going on, so kind of disappeared, and kind of stopped, and he was recording on 2K14, so I offered to Biff booked, and I offered to Biff Andreas, and I offered to record, and Brendan was the one who would edit the themes and edit the commentary and do the commentary if I get other people. So it's kind of a joint effort, and we have a lot of stuff going on now, which I appreciate. Now Europe, which is run by TJ Nicholson, that's going up. If you see Jumko, he's commentating that. The women's show, which is run by Brendan, he's running that. Nuna, and then Danny Jackpot comes back and he does NAEW because he wanted to record, but recording now it'd be way outdated at this point, so he records NAEW, and that's going on the channel too. So there's a lot of stuff going on with that channel at the moment. So like I said, if anyone follows that show, check it out. I think it's called the Jack Extras again. I recorded for that. I'm going to record more. There's a lot of stuff going on with that too that I appreciate to be a part of, if that makes sense. In general, what else was yeah, so the next episodes are already recorded. Atlantic 1 and Pacific 1 are recorded. All the extractions, the 3 extractions that are leading up till the CPV are recorded because they're easy. The commentary is going to soon be recorded for Atlantic, and hopefully in Pacific I'll have that commentary and extraction, and I'm going to have commentary. So like I said, hopefully all those shows, hopefully when all 3 shows are like edited together with themes and commentary and they're all done, then I'll start like putting them up to premiere, and then I'll work on the next set of recording. I need to work on New as well, because there's a lot of stuff with that's being recorded. That there's going to be a tag tournament, and I've recorded for that already, but I need to give it to people to commentate. I need to record the next page, so there's a lot of stuff that I want to do. OPW stuff involved with Empire I've also recorded. So like I said, lots of stuff going on with that show. What else? I think I touched a lot of bases there with everything. Trying to think. So I think now what I'll do is tell everyone who's on the rosters for Empire, Atlantic, and Pacific. So basically, this was conducted by me, Dave Andreas, Joe Mega, to see who was on each brand, that type of thing. I said I like to do something kayfabe, but whatever, it is what it is. I'm just gonna tell you, and of course there'll be people that I won't mention because they're probably gonna be surprises a part of it. So basically, here is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just go over the list and say they're on this brand, they're on that brand. So Aaron Omega, he's on Pacific. AJ Styles goes to Pacific. Al Cabrera goes to Pacific. Finn Balor goes to Pacific. Adam Cole goes to Atlantic. Aleister Black goes to Atlantic. Amarillo goes to Pacific, if you know of the Conquistadors. Ozzy Andy goes to Atlantic. Amir Barnes, he goes to Pacific. Biff Andreas, he's going to Atlantic. Bobby Fish, he's going to Atlantic. Bobby Lashley is going to Pacific. Bobby Roode is going to Atlantic. Lots of Bobbies. Chris Johansson, he is being signed. If anyone remembers him back from New WWE New Nah, he's going to be on the Atlantic. Daniel Bryan's going to Pacific. Danny Jackpot is going to Pacific. Dark Soul from the Disciples of Darkness, if you know from GWA, he's going to Pacific. I haven't done too much with them, but you'll see them soon. Dash Wilder is going to Atlantic. Drew McIntyre, you saw him return at Empire Strikes Back, he's going to Atlantic. DJ Smith is going to Pacific. EC3 is going to Atlantic. El Navino, you saw him debut, he's going to Atlantic. Evan O'Shea is going to Pacific. Flip Fowler, he's going to Pacific. Hanson going to Atlantic. Hellenis going to Pacific. Hugo's going to Atlantic. Isaiah Ice is going to Pacific. Joe Omega is going to Pacific. Johnny Gargano is going to Atlantic. Jushin Thunder Liger is on Pacific, as you saw. Mr. Barkley is going to Pacific. Kyle O'Reilly is going to Atlantic. Kenny Omega is going to Pacific. LaMarcus Carter is going to Atlantic. Leo Rush is going to Pacific. Louis Scott, East Coast Connection, going to Pacific. Magpie going to Pacific, also of the Disciples of Darkness. Malik Brown, like I said, Atlantic. Matt Icorn, Pacific. Matthew Stone, Atlantic. Movado of the Conquistadors, Pacific. Mustafa Ali going to Atlantic. Only Lorcan going to Pacific. Pete Dunne going to Pacific. Ricochet going to Pacific. Roderick Strong is going to Atlantic. Roman Reigns is going to Atlantic. Rowe is going to Atlantic. Ryan Evans is going to Atlantic. Sakamoto is going to Atlantic of the Doom Brigade. Shane Corson of the Doom Brigade going to Atlantic. Samoa Joe going to Pacific. Samuel Wolf going to Pacific. Scott Dawson going to Atlantic. Seth Rollins going to Atlantic. Tasmanian Tiger Mask is going to Atlantic. TJ Nicholson is going to Atlantic. Tommy Walker is going to Pacific. Tracy Relic, East Coast Connection, is going to Pacific. Troy Saint is going to Atlantic of the Doom Brigade. Hugo is also the Doom Brigade. Like I mentioned earlier, Reb Weeper of the East Coast Connection is going to Pacific. Extreme Tony is going to Pacific. Zack Starr is going to Pacific. So the roster might not be as even because, like I said, the Chris rosters already show, and the women will make the Atlantic show a little bit bigger, look bigger when there's less men probably. But also, like I said, just gonna I'm always going to Pacific. I can confirm some other people that went on the base roster that are going to a specific brand. Amora Pantera, if you know, he's from OPW. He's going to Pacific. Baron Corbin, He's going to Atlantic. If you remember him, I used him way back at the beginning when I didn't really have a set roster and I didn't have a lot of CAWs. But it's going to be in storyline why he's coming back and stuff. So Apollo Crews, he's going to be on Atlantic. Distance Riley is going to be on Atlantic. Distance Riley, if you don't know, is a new WWE creation. CAW was around right when it defuncted. He's going to be there. Connor Wine, a long-term call as well. He's going to be on Specific. John Blackrose, created by Evan O'Shea, is going to be on Atlantic. And then some other additions, we're going to have Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for the tag team division. They're going to go on Pacific. Chad Gable is going to go on Pacific. Akuma Santos is going to go on Pacific. And that's the most, if anyone remember those, that's going to be the rosters. The women's division at this moment, this is the women's division that's going to be on Atlantic. So that's Alexa Bliss, Athena Blight, Athena Snow. She was a new WWE creation. She's going to be debuting. Anna Nightmare, Asuka, Bayley, Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Candice LeRae, Charlotte Flair, Dakota Kai, Ember Moon, Kairi Sane, Layla LaCroix, Madame Dark, Maxine Martinez, Natalia, Novocaine, Nia Jax, Rosemary, Rosetta, Sasha Banks, Sheila Sage, Shayna Baszler, Tammy, Toni Storm, Irina Adams. So that's the women's division at the moment. And I added that there's going to be some other women also debuting at some point. Like I said, I tried to make more of the women's division more focused. Like I released a few people, add more people. The cruiserweight division, in terms of who's actually going to be like seen in the division, we got the champion Isaiah Ice, Oni Loken, Ricochet, Leo Rush, DJ Smith, Amara Pantera, Flip Fowler, Chad Gable, Kushida, forgot to mention him, he's also going to be signed and be on Pacific brand. Connor Wine, Drew Gulak, the East Coast Connection, which will be a part of it, and then wherever Conquistadors can also be a part. And there will be more added, of course, in the future in terms of that division, who's going to be a part of it. In terms of tag teams, we got the Bloodline, Jenny, Jack Palm, Zack Star, they're on Pacific. The River Conquistadors, they're on Pacific. Disciple of Darkness, they're on Pacific. The Doom Brigade is on Atlantic. That's Hugo, Shane Corson, Sakamoto, and Troy Saint. Pub Club, as Aussie Andy and Tasmanian Tiger Mask, they're going to Atlantic. The Revival, they're going to Atlantic. The Undisputed Era are on Atlantic. Sudden Impact, Ryan Evans and Venture Stone, Atlantic. War Raiders, Atlantic. Gold Rush, that's Leo Rush, DJ Smith, and Bobby Lashley. They're on Pacific. East Coast Connection, they're on Pacific. Kenny Omega and Amir Barnes are going to be considered the tag team, they're on Pacific. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, like I mentioned, they're on Pacific. And we could have more teams to come for that. So I think that's a showcase of who's going to be on the rosters in the future. That's just a showcase of who's going to be on the rosters in the future. And let's see, I'm trying to see what else do I need to talk about. So I talked about the rosters, I talked about who's on the rosters. Trying to think. Maybe I think that might be it. Trying to think. I know I had a thought in my head that I was going to talk about, although I can't particularly remember what that is at the moment. So I think that's about it. I think that's it. So like I said, if I don't, like if I remember anything else, I will probably add it in a future date, in a future video. This video is very long. It's over 30 minutes. If you're gonna hear me talk for 30 minutes, you're gonna hear me talk for 30 minutes. But yes, like I said, I'm Al Cabrera, or Albert if you want to call me that. I'm just here doing the best that I can with the product, and I hope everybody enjoys Empire Wrestling and everything I do for that channel. And then if you enjoy Naw, go watch Naw, because I like doing CAW, I like doing Call, and I appreciate having the ability to do this for fun. And you know, if I can do it for a long period of time, I'll do it for a long period of time. You know, I just remembered what I want to say. 2K20. Okay, that's what I want to say. So 2K20. So as you know, like I said, I record 2 shows. I record Naw and I record Empire Wrestling. 2K19 had 100 call slots. I did not have enough space for all those call slots, so it was hard to do both shows. It was difficult to have both shows because I didn't have enough space for both of them. And when 2K20 came out, I was going to get the game, and I was going to slowly port Empire to that game so I could have 2K19 for just Naw, and it'd be easier to have more call slots and get all the calls I need way before the game would eventually service gets shut down. But because of how trash 2K20 is, I don't even have the game. I haven't bought the game yet, and I'm not planning to until the patches actually do something and make the game good. And because even if I don't have the game, I don't want to risk buying a $60 game and it crashing on me every 5 minutes when I just want to play the game and record, let alone play all the other modes that people are saying are crashing. So at the moment, I'm keeping Empire on 2K19. I'm going to record as much of the show on 2K19 as possible until the game is actually worth buying. And if I have to wait months and months until the game is actually worth buying, it is what it is. I don't want to risk that. And apparently, regardless, from what everyone is saying, no matter what, even if all the glitches and the bugs are done, the game is worse than 2K19. The models are bad, the gameplay is bad, the controls are bad, from what people are saying. There's people not in the game that probably should be. There's the originals that people will enjoy, but not that much, and would rather just have a regular pack where we get more talent. Because like Leo Rush is in the game and I use him, but there's a lot of people that aren't in the game that aren't in 19 that I want to use. Like Buddy Murphy, Humberto de Carrillo, Matt Riddle. I wish Walter was in the game, but he's not. There's probably more people, but regardless, Trent Sever's in the game, and I had Mustache Mountain and Empire before, but I got rid of him just because I needed the cost slot, but I didn't want to take it up on Trent Seven. So hopefully they'll probably come back eventually. Talibate is gonna come back probably for the cruiserweight division, but if I can get 2K20, eventually Mustache Mountain will come back to Empire. If people even remember, Mustache Mountain was on Empire, but like I said, this video is going long, so that's the update on that. I'm not going to use 2K20 for a while, if at all. I'll probably buy the game if the game is better, as long as it doesn't crash. I don't really care too much about, all the other stuff like the gameplay, though, or the look of it. I just want to be able to play the game, and if I can't play the game and it crashes on me all the time, then that's not fun, So I think I'd rather just wait on that. So I think that's about it. Like I said, I've touched a lot of bases. Um, just to let you know about me and about the car league, and I just hope everyone watches and enjoys the video, and I hope they enjoy Empire Wrestling, and I will continue to do it. So thank you for listening to me just ramble for 30 minutes. And I appreciate everyone who watches, like I said. So tune in for the new season to come soon, and I'll catch you all later.